So I saw you play, and you were playing off CD, but with the CDJ2000. You're missing so much of the CDJ2000. The best...
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, no, wait. To get the best out of the player, you need to be using rekordbox.
Yeah.
So rekordbox pioneers iTunes for DJs, where you basically drag your music in from iTunes, you can create playlists, you can create loops, you put grid markers in, and then you export it onto a USB key or an SD card. So I've got an SD card in.
Right.
So sure, you can just drag tracks off your desktop and put them onto a folder, but you miss so much. Okay, so this is my SD card.
All right.
As soon as I hit a track, instant WAV display, artwork, comments, what key it's in, you know what genre, you can put a colour to it, you can do so much with it. So if I play this track, what we can do now as well, we have quantized looping. So if I tag this track, and now I go over to this CDJ and go into my tag list, it's basically pulled up that track as well.
Yeah.
You can tag them. It's like going through your old rekordbox and pulling up tracks.
All right.
So a great way to demonstrate the quantized looping, if we set both these tracks at 0 BPM.
Right.
So those two tracks will sit all night. They'll go out of phase, okay? So on the old CDJs, you must have been in the mix and you go and try and put a loop in, and no matter how good we are at looping, you've got to struggle with the mix. So I can literally just hit 4-beat loop. I can chop that loop down.
Yeah, that's awesome too.
So you can create playlists. So if I go to my playlist, I made a playlist here, so it could be, I don't know, Shelborne, DJmag Pool Party today, select through your playlist, and away you go. So you really need to be using rekordbox to get the best out of the CDJ2000. It's a free piece of software, anybody can download it, and it's really, really easy to use. You can I manage all my music in iTunes, and then you can bridge the two pieces of software together, pull in all of your tracks and it analyzes them, collects a database, and then literally just as easy as
put the SD card in,
yeah, so all my tracks are on a 16 gig SD card. I stick it in, press SD, wait for it to buffer into there, and then these are all my tracks. As soon as I hit it,
it's in there,
So if all your ID3 tags are nice and neat inside the software, you know, the experience on the CDJ is far greater.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? And then once you finish playing as well, it creates a history file. So like the set you just played now, if you got back on your flight home and went, oh, what was that track I played? After that it went really well. After you played a track for 60 seconds, it dumps it into a history folder.
Alright.
So when this goes back, so I'll show you. So once I put my SD card back into rekordbox, it will say, do you want to import a history file?
Alright.
So I say yes, and then if I go to my playlists, it's basically put it in here.
Alright.
So today, or over the series of today, while I've been putting that SD card back in, that's my history. And then we can rename this, I don't know, Shelborne Gig, and away you go. So it's really this process, you know, it's this performance, play and review series. You can just continually cycle around here. And then I can export that playlist back onto my SD card. See how fast it is? I go back into my device panel, eject it. Take it back out. Hopefully, it says, this is the acid test, that playlist Shelborne should be on here. So back into SD, playlists, Shelborne Gig. So that was my set from this afternoon, or your set from this afternoon. And all the artwork's still there. And you can put loops in, you can pull them back up on the CDJ, you can put cue points in. It's really, really trying to make it easy. So it eliminates the need for CD. But it gets so much more out of the players.
That's definitely a good thing, because I was playing like with Tractor before, and I just hate the whole plug-in stuff and whatever. And so right now this definitely gives me more opinions, more possibilities, you know, to just do the things you do in Tractor, like looping stuff or whatever, and do the edits and just put them in.
So we've still got the ability to kind of do perfect loops, but there's still a bit of human integration where it's still tangible. You can still do it yourself.
All right, perfect.
And as well now we have a 0 decimal place BPM. So if I put this track on, if I just pick a random track, 122.1, 122.1. And then hopefully quantized loop. The possibilities really are endless.
Yeah, I mean, I love the loop too because of, I think at the players before, like on the 1000, whatever, it was like pretty difficult, you know.
So what happens, so on the old CDJs, if you went to put in a loop, so you can make mistakes, so
this was the
and then you'd have to edit it, and then is it right?
Yeah, that was the point.
Now it's right.
Just nagging me, you know.
But if I turn quantize on, you go and try and put in a bad loop and it will adjust it. So if you put it in, it will say you're wrong and it will snap it. And then you go out and it will snap it again. So if you go and put in a loop, put in a bad loop, put in a bad loop.
Put in a bad loop.
Perfect. So just go in and then out whenever. Try and do it bad.
Okay, that one.
Because it knew you were wrong, so it snapped into a grid marker. And also at the end of every loop, it puts in an envelope with a zero crossing point. So you never get that little spike, that little glitch, that digital click. Always nice, smooth loops.
That's a good tool, definitely.
So yeah, hopefully I've opened your eyes a little bit to rekordbox and kind of showed you what the CDJ2000 can do working with rekordbox. Free piece of software, anybody can access it. So you can be editing on the plane, as soon as you get to the gig, away you go. Yeah?
So that's pretty cool, man.
Wicked. Well, thank you very much, Alex.
Thanks, mate, for explaining.